And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. So as we all know, Minnesota was eliminated 4-1 by the Mavericks. And next series is going to be interesting. Mavericks versus Boston. Not sure who I got. In general, in history, I don't like Boston that much, except for Larry Bird. So, and I wouldn't mind seeing Kyrie get one without LeBron James, even though, you know, he has Luka, so it's still a great duo. But I wouldn't mind seeing Kyrie get one without LeBron James. But anyway, so I actually didn't watch all of the Timberwolves Mavericks series. Just been busy and whatnot. And kind of after the first two games, I felt like that it was probably a foregone conclusion. Again, you never know because this playoffs has been full of surprises and ups and downs and whatnot. But, so yeah, I didn't watch most of the rest of the series. Just kind of checked in from here to there. Checked out some highlights or whatnot. But at any rate, Anthony Edwards failed as a leader. He failed as a leader. You know, there's no other way to put it. Again, if you are the leader of the team and you're going to get the praise, you also have to take the blame. But as you know, on this channel, a lot of my perspective and point of view comes on the mentality of players versus necessarily analyzing the game, because I believe a player's game is a direct result of their mentality. And so, you know, we do a lot of analyzing of interviews and that kind of thing. And I was watching the post-game interview with Anthony Edwards, and lo and behold, people, I must say, he has officially disqualified himself from the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant comparisons. He's officially disqualified himself, and it has nothing to do with him losing, but it has everything to do with something he said in particular in this post-game interview. Let's check out this clip.
Hey, and what did you learn through this playoffs, and what do you think it will do for you this summer as you prepare to come back next year and go even further?
I mean, you just know how you got to train because, like I said, I've never played this deep into a basketball season. So now I know, like, okay, in order for me to be able to be dominant in the third round, and if we get past the worst comes final to go to the finals, I got to train like I'm going to go to the playoffs. So I can't be missing training days. I can't take days off. I can't, you know what I mean? I got to be ready. So now I know what it takes. I'll be ready.
And I know it's a quick pivot here, but what are you looking forward to from the Olympics experience coming up?
I don't even want to talk. I don't know.
As a leader of this team, what do you say to the other players on your team about workouts this summer? Is there specific things you want them to work on, or do you think they just improve on their own and you guys all come back for training camp?
Yeah, they got their own trainers, their own guys. They just work on their game. But I just told them, like, y'all know that we're gonna be right back in the same position next year. So y'all know how y'all need to train to get ready, and include myself, like because we trained this year as if we was gonna just play 82 games, maybe one round of the playoffs. We didn't know we was gonna go this far, so we didn't train like it this summer. I know nobody did, especially myself. So I think this summer is gonna be huge for all of us because we know what type of team we got and we know what we're capable of. So we need to train like we know what we're gonna do.
What goes?
All right, so you heard the clip. This is the thing that I had. This is the thing that I had the problem with the most with Anthony Edwards. To me, Anthony Edwards, he said some questionable things, you know, over the last several months, but he's also said some really good things. And even in this clip that I played for you, he said something that I thought was a positive thing. But first, let's start with the thing that I can't get past. He talked about the fact that they trained as if they were only going to play an 82-game season with maybe a couple of extra games. In other words, he said they trained as if they weren't going to go that far into the playoffs. That's the thing that is unforgivable to me. And maybe unforgivable is too strong of a word, but maybe the better word is the thing that's very revealing to me. Now, I will say this. The thing that I thought was positive is at least he admitted that about himself as well. He said, me too. He said, I know I didn't train. So, again, there's some accountability there that I can appreciate. But, again, to me, that statement, him saying that they didn't train as if they were going deep into the playoffs, to me, that officially disqualifies him from the Michael Jordan and Kobe comparisons. And why do I say that? I say that because I'm not sure how much of that kind of killer mentality that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson had can be developed. I believe some of it can be developed. But when you say you only trained as if you were playing 82 games, or I guess more importantly, trained as if you weren't going to go deep into the playoffs, to me, that is a huge, huge problem. Michael Jordan, when he got to the Chicago Bulls, vowed to be in the playoffs every year that he was a Chicago Bull. And I'm pretty sure he succeeded in that just off the top of my head. Because, again, the one year that he was injured, he came back and they still were able to make the playoffs. But to me, that attitude that you were only training as if you were only going so far into the postseason, to me, that is about as un-Kobe-like and un-Mike-like as you can get. Because, again, first of all, the statement that we trained as if we're only going so far into the playoffs, well, forget that part. Who cares how far you're going into the playoffs? What about training and just being your absolute best at all times? Again, this is why I've said, I've been saying this a lot lately. There's no such thing as activate playoff mode. There is no such thing as that. And Michael Jordan knew that. The best of the best players knew that there's no such thing as playoff mode. The saying is, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Every time you touch a basketball should be playoff mode. I don't care if it's a pickup game in the park. I don't care if it's practice. I don't care where it is. To get into that mindset of a Michael Jordan, you have to be on all the time. And this is what we know about Michael Jordan. This is what we know about Kobe Bryant. Even though Kobe Bryant had a slightly different trajectory in his career than Michael Jordan, because Kobe Bryant came in from high school. Again, Kobe Bryant wasn't starting when he got to the team. He had to earn his place on the Lakers. But even outside of that, Kobe came in with that attitude of, I'm trying to get as good as I can get, as fast as I can get, and I'm going to work myself tirelessly. I'm going to work myself to exhaustion, to achieve this. Again, the fact that Kobe Bryant, in the middle of a game, I can't remember, I believe it was his first game against Michael Jordan, decided to bend down and ask Michael Jordan in the middle of the game, how do you feel the defense? And, of course, we all know Michael Jordan told him, hey, you feel the defense with your legs. But the fact that Kobe Bryant was searching for that information even during the game. So, yeah, the notion that Anthony Edwards, it took him losing to the Mavericks to think to himself that, okay, we have to train as if we're going further into the playoffs. And that kind of explains why, he's looked tired in some of these games. But again, Michael Jordan at 22, he was on 10 all of the time. Kobe Bryant is on 10 all of the time. And so you can't be compared to guys like that when that is not you. And again, that's the kind of thing that I don't know if, I think that's kind of has a lot to do with your DNA, has a lot to do with your personality. Like, no one should have to tell you to train that way. It should be just your desire and hunger to be not only the best that you can be, but better than everyone else. Again, having that dominating kind of mentality. And this is kind of what I said the past couple of videos where I talked about Anthony Edwards, is that Anthony Edwards is a competitor on the court, but he is not a dominator. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, players like that are dominators. In other words, everything that they do regarding the game of basketball is to keep their foot on your neck. The way that they practice. Again, it doesn't matter if it's just a pickup game, a meaningless pickup game, so to speak, meaningless, but everything means something if you actually love the game of basketball, if you actually love competing and love the competition. Everything means something. So just a random pickup game, players like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant still had that need to show you that you do not measure up to them. They had that need to keep their foot on your necks. So again, and let me say this, while I'm saying all this about Anthony Edwards, I'm not throwing him away. I'm not throwing him away. I'm simply saying that he's definitely not Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. This is for sure. And let me say this as well, because a lot of people, I think, have been overly harsh on Anthony Edwards in the sense that I will say this. He is young, so he does have time to improve. Again, yes, he should take the criticism as the leader for not leading his team. But he is younger. And so comparing him the same way that we would compare LeBron James or Kevin Durant, you can't do that. Because LeBron James and Kevin Durant has had years of establishing the patterns that we despise today. Again, but if everybody who watches this channel, if you think back to when LeBron was 22, again, before all of us probably despised him. Again, I know when LeBron was 22, like I said, I didn't feel this way about him. I was still hopeful. But it's been after the years of seeing the repeated patterns, of seeing him not improve certain things from year to year, and actually seeing him devolve into this place to where now everything is an excuse. That's, again, I just started this channel a little over a year ago, and it just got to the point to where I was like, okay, enough is enough. Like, I need to start a channel just of voicing my opinion about my frustration about the media trying to sell me on the greatness of LeBron James that I'm not seeing. But it had been years of watching him to where I finally got fed up. So Anthony Edwards is still young. It's still hope for him. Like I said, he has said a lot of good things. He has said a lot of questionable things. And like I said, even within this clip that I played, I despise the fact of what he said about them not preparing to go deep into the playoffs. I think that alone disqualifies him from ever being in a conversation with Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, and I can almost guarantee that because of that statement he made, he's never going to be that great. He's never going to reach that level of greatness because, like I said, I'm not sure if that's something you can cultivate, at least not to the extent that a Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan had it. I think a lot of that was you are that kind of person or you are not. Again, when you talk about Kobe Bryant and him, I think he was in training camp before he got to the NBA or something, and he asked, I forgot who he was talking to. He asked the player what it was like to go against Mike, and the player was basically warning him like, "Oh, you don't want to go against Mike." And Kobe was like, "Hey, I'm going at him." Kobe was like that from a young age. That desire to, again, dominate. I don't know if that's something you can teach, but like I said, I'm not throwing Anthony Edwards away. I think he's young. I think he still has time to improve. But based on that statement, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see him ever being on that level of a Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, because to me, that is something fundamentally flawed. And to me, I think more than anything, what that statement proves is he is a product of this generation. He's a product of this entitled generation. So he still very much has that ingrained in him. And yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. And I guess we'll see how much of that he can overcome. I think I said in another video, the real test starts now. You know, the real test, okay, they lost. The real test starts now. Is when we see Anthony Edwards next year, is there going to be a noticeable difference in his game, in his level of play when we see him next year? Is it going to be evident that he really has been working hard in the offseason to bring his game to another level? And I'm going to just say this, you know, if Anthony Edwards happened to see this video, there is no such thing as playoff mode. You are either in playoff mode all the time or you're never going to be at your best. You know, if you really want to be that guy, like, you have to find a way to motivate yourself regarding everything that has to do with basketball, including practice. You know, go back and listen to how people talk about Michael Jordan. Listen to how his teammates talk about him. And most importantly, listen to what they say about him making practices feel like Game 7 of the finals. That is important. I think the other thing that Anthony Edwards is going to have to get better at is his leadership. And, you know, and I will say this. Here's something that's very interesting. You know, because part of me wants to say, and I think a good leader does have to be confrontational. I think a good leader has to be willing to be confrontational. But the real question is, will that work in today's league with these soft players? So, you know, on one hand, I want to tell Anthony Edwards, hey, look, if you got to be hard on your teammates, you do that. But on the other hand, we live in such soft times that, you know, I don't know if how that would go over. You know, again, if Michael Jordan played in today's NBA, you know, we know he would dominate for sure. But I'm not sure if he would be able to. He might wind up retiring early because he just can't deal with the softness of these players. But anyway, we're going to hold up here. Like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about Anthony Edwards? What do you think about the Timberwolves losing? What do you think, if for those of you who may have watched the whole post-game interview, because I did, but this is, like I said, to me, this part of the interview is, when I saw this, I was like, okay, this guy is not, he shouldn't be in the same sentence with a Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. But if you guys saw the whole interview, let me know what you thought about it. Is there anything else in his post-game interview that stuck out to you? What do you think his ceiling is? You know, because it's definitely not Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. But, you know, do you think he could be as good as a Dwayne Wade or somebody? Or do you think he's not even going to reach that level? But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day. And I'll see you next time. All right.